All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel that is having so much fun being the only star basketball channel. What a ride this has been for a while now, huh? This has just been, and so today I'm going to talk about, the doing my recap for the interview of Beckett, Steve Taft, Victor, and Dave, and just the XRC classification for the Jordan rookie card for the 101 star. It was just probably my best hobby experience and have to admit and one of my better life experiences that I had on this. What a positive thing. It's funny, some of the feedback kind of was, focused on the negative of, a debate and looking into positions and stuff. I did not. I'm coming away from this so happy. I'm actually coming away with personal closure here on this. And it took me a few days to think about it. It took me some days to process what happened. And it took me some time to realize just how fulfilling this whole experience was for me. And it's just made my collecting experience so much better. And it really was something that I truly am so thankful and honored to be a part of. And it really, well, there was no negative in this for me. So I realized that this was a tough talk. So for people watching, we obviously have some opinions about the classifications. Obviously, I do, and the others, and some of you are watching are very emotionally invested in this. And that's why it's difficult. And that's why, it's a debate. It wouldn't be easy if it wasn't a debate. That's why debate is there. That is why decisions, and this has gone over a long period of time. And how I basically have come away from this and looking at this is first, the main thing I want to thank everyone for who was involved, and especially for Dr. Beckett and for Victor for coming on, but really to Dr. Beckett. And for any of you that have conflicted opinions about him, I know a few of you do for sure. I've heard them. But if you have conflicted opinions, that really should be focused on his decision of the XRC. That's okay to debate that. He even self, has said he struggled with that and that wasn't easy. That's it. But separate that from the actual man and just the mass respect I have for him. And if I thought of him a certain way, I didn't have many thoughts on him except for what Steve Taft said. After dealing with him and going through this, I just have, this man has so much of my respect, and the integrity of this person, and the ability for him to listen, and the leadership that he showed in this. For what he was, a success for an obvious reason. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to placate anyone. I'm not trying to make anyone feel good. I wouldn't say anything if I felt otherwise. I would keep my mouth shut. I call a spade, as you guys have seen. And I just have the utmost respect for him for coming on and doing this, to responding to someone kind of, could see as, hey, I think you're wrong. And he was, all right, let's talk about it. And the fact that he spent the time and everything. So for all of you star people that are watching this, that are like disagreeing with what he did, the fact that he came on to help try to explain to you should be worth its weight in kind of gold. It was for me eventually, because we got to listening to him on the final interview. I'm going to point those things out, why I came to closure in just a few minutes. But it really focused on three things that he said. So that really helped me kind of see what was going on. Three kind of points that I thought were really, really interesting. And once I kind of put them all together, kind of created a message for me. So I will share that. First, what I think we kind of all came into with different, opinions and whatnot. But, we got Dave, who obviously thinks that, the star is the rookie card. And he doesn't really, as far as the 86 Fleer, he likes it, but to him, it's a third year card. to Steve Taft, he just thinks that the XRC label is wrong. He thinks the 101 should be a rookie card. He doesn't care and doesn't mind about the 86 Fleer being called a rookie card. Call it whatever you want. It's been done for so long for calling the 86 Fleer a rookie. He said he'll stick rookie on it, and he doesn't mind labeling it that when he sells it, because it sells, and a lot of people believe that's what it is. So that's fine. He's like, but just call the 101 a rookie card. That's what he's been saying the entire time. Victor thinks that both the Star 101 and the 86 Fleer should have rookie card RC with asterisk next to both of them. That is his kind of take on it. And to him, and he leans towards that rookie on the 86 Fleer because of the historical, perspective to it, the decisions that were made and the nostalgia around the card. And I truly think that he's looking out for a group of people as the hobby is involved and changed. He has some people who, he's kind of doing the fight for I want to say the little guy. I understand that, but it kind of might be construed that way. And in a way, hats off to him. And for, he really is trying to, his heart's in the right place too. He's trying to do it. It's just a very, very difficult thing to navigate, this evolution over time for the rookie card. And for myself, and obviously Beckett came to a place, Dr. Beckett came to a place where what I think he was trying to do, and what he was trying to say is basically, hey, I made the correct decision at the time. For everything, it was actually a no-brainer. I'm going to use some of his words right now from both the podcast and where he came to, and I think what he was trying to say is, I did this and I don't feel that this was wrong. You can kind of pick at some of the things. He's like, I kind of picked at my own, things. This wasn't an easy, like, come to a decision in a minute. He's like, I realized that there's some problems here, and this was kind of the best place to put it with XRC. But first of all, a lot of people misunderstand the XRC designation. He was trying to really prove that in and say that the XRC, in a lot of ways, you might call it the better rookie card. It's the first and it's the most valuable. So take with it what you will. Really, his definition for an RC is focused around kind of a mass distributed thing that really for all the people to enjoy. And again, and I put, it's that kind of thing that because the card in the 86 Fleer had the distribution of what he wanted for basically everyone to be able to have it. And for all the dealers and everyone, there's a lot of action on it. It just made sense to him. And for his classification, it was kind of a no-brainer. And since he's the voice of the hobby at the time, it really kind of just fell through. I get that. And I really do. And it really helped clear for me hearing him talk. Again, like I was disagreeing throughout, I still have a problem with the classification over the test of time. And this is where I think this is where all the closure comes from me. And this is what he addressed, which I was trying to get to. When I was trying to put out my solutions of, hey, I was really more putting goalposts. When I was trying to get a solution saying, hey, hobby icon and true rookie card. I think he heard me when I say this isn't a trick to get you to call this the true rookie card. And the hobby icon, but that's kind of what the hobby is all calling this right now. It's if you're watching social media and this perception shift, that's what's going on. People are just watching who don't follow the Star 101. They're like, oh, it's just shooting up and there's no reason for it except for PSA. It's like, no, the PSA was the catalyst for a bigger thing, and that's the perception change of what people are thinking of this, and then the realization with that perception change, oh wait, there's not many of these. Oh my gosh, there's a whole lot less of these. And if this is the true Jordan rookie card, whoa. And it created a massive demand, and there isn't much supply. So we're seeing that play out. Dr. Beckett speaks to this in a minute. I'm going to play some clips here in a sec. But so the real benefit was trying trying to go be solution oriented and putting that solution out there was really to talk through it and hope something said. Did I actually think that they're going to say, yes, let's call it that now, and we can implement it this way? No, that wasn't how I was expecting this to all work out. It really was to figure out how to talk to something, with that being the end goalpost to kind of talk to. There's nothing to change, but there are things how we can talk to it. And he at first thought, again, he was kind of worried that I was trying to make him declare the 101, the true rookie card kind of thing. And he said, I'm not going to give a headline. He then saw that that really wasn't what I was looking for. And for what I was looking for, he was thinking more with values. He doesn't want to change the distinction mainly now or say something, because he doesn't want to affect values for people holding the 86 Fleer. And as he says that, in here. And, it was, I'm working from a classification perspective. Like, I just care to know, what is in modern, looking at it modernly, and how the data, again, has gone over time. If you want to talk about it really nerdy, it really is just entropy on a data model. But it's in kind of just lay terms, it's just things evolving over time and changing, and how to look at this. You have a base card from a base set, a licensed base card, and very comprehensive NBA set. That's the one cool thing about Stars. They covered the NBA, 288 cards that year. And so that, there's a definitely, the NBA had a really good representation in basketball cards. That's one really nice thing about the star set that we didn't even discuss. So, there were I was coming from that perspective. Hey, let's get this, but it does affect values, and that's what makes this whole thing difficult to changing. And that's what Victor also has in mind. Trying to keep that so where you're not affecting values or shifting things, and that was kind of first and foremost. Here's where it started. What's funny is actually Beckett and I agreed an awful lot. We're focused on the disagreements, but there's definitely places where we agreed. But I found this, to start with some of the things he said, I found this very interesting.
I mean, I did price guides for all those years. It is what it is, Ryan. It's probably going to trend down. I mean, they don't have to be a brilliant data scientist to figure out that we've got a scarce commodity here that's being chased, that's not enough to go around in the 101 star and other star Jordans too. Way, 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 100th of that. And then you got an 86 Fleer now that's being called into questions. Its status as a third year. It's not way late, but it's a third year, an early Jordan, but not. And so the marketplace is reacting. It's neither good nor bad, Ryan. It is what it is. And if this dialogue keeps going, it will put downward pressure on the 86 Fleer. I acknowledge that. You can't stem the tide. The people are going to vote with their dollars, and they're clearly moving in that direction.
So this was big for me in terms of him acknowledging, the 86 Fleer essentially being affected, because the debate is starting to shift. People are starting to talk about it as a third year card, and he recognizes that. And it was just this acknowledgement of what's going on in the modern time, and kind of that, hey, as he said, he's not the man anymore, and this has been a shift in how this could affect. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. So he talked to it a little bit, and that really helped. That he was acknowledging that the debate is happening and it's affecting it, and then he had this to say.
Let me simplify further. You got a brand new person that came in the hobby last year. They don't know anything about anything. You pull out two cards. You don't tell them which one is what the values are. You flip them over. You look at the front, look at the back, and they say, which card would you rather have? I think almost all of them, even not even knowing about the scarcity, unless they like the design element of the 86, 87 Fleer, they're going to say, this Star Company card is earlier. I'll take that one. If the value was the same or they didn't know the value, because the plain reading of the back of the card tells you all those people want to know. There's no nuance to them. I'm going to take the earlier card. That must be the rookie. I don't deny that.
And this was all kind of at the crux of what I've been trying to say, more or less, is that the data, the things that have kept the rules, the Beckett rules, all that stuff, that's all kept in people's heads and perceptions. That as the time has gone, either people don't care or it's fading, and that will only grow and strengthen. And for, especially when it takes a turn like this, now it's just accelerated greatly. That's where he and I are looking at this, and I'm just making a distinction, calling it, well, I don't need to be, bound by these rules. There's no enforcement factor. And he acknowledges that, and he says, I'm not the guy anymore. And, he's kind of in a pseudo way saying it. He himself isn't going to reclassify. He doesn't see a problem with what he did in the past. And he says, it was difficult to classify, but, I came to the spot that I was comfortable with. He says all that, but it's also kind of looking at it going, this is all going to change. All of us old timers are going to be kind of put out, and the new people are going to come in, and they're going to want what they're going to want. And it sounds like common sense, but it was kind of, I want to say, it was this difficult to get to this point in terms of being what's being asked and what's being said. And just for him to acknowledge that this is happening now, I think would be a lot for folks. So these were two of the kind of things that kind of put me at peace and went, okay, he gets it. He's seeing it. He's not like, this has to be the XRC and will be for the rest of eternity. He's not doing that. I think hopefully I've summed it up the best the way I've explained it so far. And that is the way I see it. I just look at it from a data modeling perspective, from just a standard, like looking at life, and people, to be in the know of something means it falls off as time passes. And that is clearly what's happening here. And that's what he is saying. The other thing that was big here, and maybe the biggest one, because it was something that got explained, and it's in he says it in his podcast, that they had an RC asterisk on the 86 FLIR in the first Beckett, and for a while, until it was a technical reason that they had to remove it. That's pretty big. A lot of people just thought it was a rookie, but it's actually an RC asterisk that he had it under, and kind of basically only because of the way the software was that they had to remove it. They were getting in new software, and how he was tracking it with his HTML, it wasn't. So that was actually pretty big too. That was a big thing to note, that almost I it's another one of those things that you have to be in the know. So he is definitely saying all these people that are buying the card now, they've known it's a third year card and they're paying big bucks for it. It's kind of on them. They know what they're buying. They're big boys. These are collectors, and here's what's happening. And but that was a detail that I thought was incredibly interesting. Anyway, this all brought me a lot of great closure. It brought me for, kind of needing to go out there and say, wait a minute, now this is wrong, and now I understand it better. I think he acknowledged it, and I came to a good spot with it, and that was the best outcome, a very, very positive outcome for me. I hope you got to a positive outcome from the talks. They were not negative in the least. I am so thankful for him, Dr. Beckett, and thankful to Victor, Dave, and Steve Taft to come on. And it was just really an honor to be a part of once again. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And those are my thoughts on the interview.